The love between Queen Victoria and her youngest child, Princess Beatrice, was unique and deep. But when it came to finding a husband for her beloved baby, the Queen's wishes went against those of her daughter. Today, we'll look at what made the Queen so resistant to the idea of Beatrice marrying Prince Henry and how their love ultimately won out over her wishes. In this episode, we'll cover the period from 1884 to 1886. So let's begin. As we discussed in our last episode, after the death of Prince Albert, Queen Victoria became increasingly attached to her youngest child, Princess Beatrice, who she called Baby. Her Majesty had always felt that Beatrice lacked the necessary qualities to become a great queen, but as the years passed and she grew older, Queen Victoria saw in her a loyal and loving daughter who was always by her side. As such, the Queen never expected Beatrice to marry, believing that her place was by her side in Windsor Castle. However, in April of 1884, an event took place that would change all of that. The family gathered together in Darmstadt for the wedding of Queen Victoria's niece, Princess Alix of Greece and Denmark, to Prince Henry of Prussia. It was here that Beatrice met her cousin's suitor, Prince Henry of Battenberg, whose family were distant relatives of the British royal family. At first, there was no romantic spark between them, but as they spent more time together over the course of the next year, a strong connection began to form. When Beatrice returned to London and resumed her role as her mother's companion, she couldn't help but reminisce about her time with Henry. As she wrote in a letter to her friend, Viscountess Allington, "My only regret is poor Henry. We get on so well together, but I don't know what is to become of him or me." Little did she know that fate had already decided their paths would intertwine once again. On February 9, 1886, Queen Victoria received a visit from her eldest daughter, Princess Victoria, who arrived at Windsor Castle with her husband, Prince Frederick William of Schaumburg-Lippe. Little did Her Majesty know that this seemingly ordinary visit would soon take an extraordinary turn. After greeting her daughter and son-in-law warmly, the Queen retired to her room, eager to unwind from the day's events. However, upon settling down, she reached for her diary and began writing about the events of the afternoon. As she recounted the conversation she had shared with Princess Victoria, an unexpected revelation emerged. Her daughter informed the Queen that Prince Henry of Battenberg had recently been staying at their home, and that he had declared his deep affection for Princess Beatrice, expressing his desire to marry her. The Queen's reaction was immediate and visceral. According to her diary entry, upon hearing this news, Her Majesty experienced a wave of anger and incredulity. She expressed her astonishment at the notion of Henry's romantic interest in her youngest daughter, stating, "I was astonished. I could hardly believe my ears. Oh, how could this have happened?" Despite the shockwaves this revelation sent through the royal household, the Queen's initial response was one of swift dismissal. She promptly dispatched Princess Victoria back to Schaumburg-Lippe with a firm message: the Queen's absolute disapproval of any potential engagement between Prince Henry and Princess Beatrice. Determined to put an end to the matter, she left no doubt in her daughter's mind that the idea of a royal wedding between the two was completely out of the question. As days turned into weeks, Queen Victoria found herself increasingly preoccupied with thoughts of her youngest daughter's unexpected romantic entanglement. Unable to shake off her concerns, the Queen decided to confront the issue head-on. She summoned Princess Beatrice to her side, ready to deliver an ultimatum. Upon hearing her daughter's confirmation of Prince Henry's affections, Queen Victoria's resolve hardened. With a heavy heart, she conveyed her absolute disapproval of his proposal, making it crystal clear that a relationship of that nature was unacceptable and had to be severed immediately. The weight of her mother's words hung heavy in the air, leaving Princess Beatrice devastated and unsure of what to do next. As the Queen dismissed her daughter from their tête-à-tête, the full force of her disapproval became evident. There was no room for negotiation, no allowances for the budding romance that had blossomed between Beatrice and Prince Henry. For Queen Victoria, the matter was settled, or so she believed. However, little did she know that this was just the beginning of a much more complex and emotional battle. In the weeks following the Queen's sharp rebuke, Princess Beatrice found herself torn between her unwavering love for Prince Henry and her deep respect for her mother, his wishes. As she grappled with this internal conflict, her sisters and other family members intervened, urging Queen Victoria to reconsider her stance. They reminded the Queen of the joy and laughter that Princess Beatrice had brought into the family and argued that her happiness should be a top priority. Despite their pleas, Queen Victoria remained resolute in her position. For her, the prospect of her youngest daughter marrying a foreign prince was unsettling. Fearful that it would disrupt the delicate balance of European politics and potentially jeopardize her legacy, the Queen's inner turmoil grew, causing her health to deteriorate. It became apparent that something had to change if the family was to heal and move forward. Finally, after months of persistent persuasion from her family and loved ones, Queen Victoria relented. She agreed to allow Princess Beatrice to marry Prince Henry, albeit with several conditions. Firstly, the Queen stipulated that Prince Henry must renounce any claim to his German titles and estates, ensuring that he would sever ties with his former life and fully commit to his new role within the British royal family. Secondly, Queen Victoria demanded that the newlyweds establish their primary residence in the United Kingdom, effectively ending any possibility of them residing abroad. And finally, the Queen set forth the most crucial condition of all, requiring that Prince Henry and Princess Beatrice live with her permanently at Windsor Castle. This arrangement ensured that her beloved baby would never leave her side, providing the Queen with a sense of comfort and continuity she so desperately craved. With these terms agreed upon, preparations for the royal wedding commenced, uniting two hearts in love while also appeasing the Queen's longing for her daughter's constant companionship. On July 23, 1885, Princess Beatrice and Prince Henry were united in marriage at St. Mildred's Church in Whippingham. The ceremony was a beautiful and joyous occasion, attended by family members and close friends who had gathered to celebrate the union of two people deeply in love. During the ceremony, Princess Beatrice made a stunning entrance wearing a gorgeous white satin and Honiton lace wedding gown. Her veil, a cherished heirloom, had been worn by her mother, Queen Victoria, on her own wedding day, symbolizing the deep bond between them. As Beatrice walked down the aisle towards her future husband, all eyes were on her, admiring not only her radiant beauty, but also the profound love she shared with her mother. Once the ceremony concluded and the newlyweds exchanged vows, a reception was held in their honor. The festivities were filled with music, dancing, and heartfelt toasts, creating a warm and celebratory atmosphere. Queen Victoria, though initially hesitant about the match, couldn't help but feel a sense of pride and joy as she watched her daughter and new son-in-law embrace their happily ever after. The wedding of Princess Beatrice and Prince Henry was a significant event in British royal history. It marked the union of two families and the beginning of a new chapter for the bride and groom. As they embarked on their journey together, they carried with them the love and support of their families and friends, who wished them all the best in their future endeavors. As the years passed, Princess Beatrice and Prince Henry's love for each other only grew stronger. They faced challenges together, supported each other through personal growth, and celebrated each other's accomplishments. Their enduring bond became a beacon of inspiration for those around them, demonstrating the true meaning of love, commitment, and partnership. In 1892, Princess Beatrice gave birth to their first child, Prince Henry, known affectionately as Baby. The arrival of their son brought immense joy to the family, and Prince Henry became a devoted father, sharing his love and guidance with their son. However, tragedy struck in 1896 when Prince Henry joined the Ashanti expedition in West Africa and contracted malaria. Upon returning home, his health deteriorated rapidly, and he passed away at the age of 62. Princess Beatrice was devastated by the loss of her beloved husband, but she found solace in her unwavering love for him and the memories they had shared. After Prince Henry's death, Princess Beatrice and Queen Victoria continued to reside together at Windsor Castle. Beatrice took on the role of her mother's companion and secretary, providing unwavering support and care during the Queen's final years. Their close bond deepened, and they found comfort in each other's presence as they navigated the challenges of their lives together. Throughout her life, Princess Beatrice exemplified grace, dignity, and unwavering devotion to her family and the royal cause. Her legacy continues to inspire and captivate people around the world, reminding us of the importance of love, duty, and the indomitable spirit of the human heart. Please subscribe and like. Thank you.